The collusion case will go forward on appeal. And based upon the various timelines set forth in the CBA, it could move fairly quickly. And it looks like this 3-person panel that handles the appeal, it looks like they could just disagree with the system arbitrator. If it's 2-1, if 2 of them out of the 3 think that there's evidence there to show collusion, the union could still win. This thing could still get very interesting unless it's settled. And as I've said before, I hope it's not settled because the union decides to give up its appeal rights because the NFL has a specious claim for $12 million or more in attorney's fees and costs. I hope that the union doesn't think that's a good deal, because that's not a good deal. Because I think the NFL will have a very hard time getting a penny under the standard articulated in the CBA, because there was a good faith basis for the union to go forward with its claim, as evidenced by the fact that they scored a partial win. So the collusion appeal goes forward. And here's the problem. Look at what they've been hiding from us, media and fans. If they strike a deal to resolve the collusion grievance on appeal, will we even know about it? Will there be another episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out at some point in the future where we report on what ultimately happened? Because they've got no mechanism in place where they will necessarily tell us that this has been settled. And they've got the ultimate array of 272 bright, shiny objects coming up, starting soon, 7 weeks from today. Football season is back, and we will be distracted from these other issues, and we will be focusing only on football, and things will be forgotten, just like I forgot all about the J.C. Tretter fake injury grievance. We had written about it multiple times. I'd forgotten all about it until the person pointed out to me, hey, this may be one of the reasons why the NFL and the NFLPA have this deal to keep things quiet. Okay, one last thing as relates to the union. The Lloyd Howell stuff, and I'm going to be writing about this. There's still an investigation being conducted by a lawyer from the firm of WilmerHale. And one of the things I explained to Pablo, and one of the things I'll explain in more detail at PFT, it's very important to know when an independent investigation happens, who the person is that's providing the mission to the lawyer, and whether the lawyer understands the basic ritual of getting repeat business when it comes to being hired to do investigations. They're never truly independent. Smart lawyers know how to pick up on what the person hiring them to do the investigation would like the outcome of the investigation to be. And I'm not suggesting that you fabricate evidence. I'm not suggesting that you lie or you commit fraud. All I'm saying is there's a lot of different ways the facts can go. There's a lot of different interpretations of the evidence. And lawyers that aspire to work for companies that are hoping to get justification through an independent investigation to do whatever they want, if you have a reputation for giving that client what they want, basically whitewashing the situation and legitimizing the final analysis by providing evidence to back up the conclusion, you get more of that work. And we've been talking a lot about conflicts of interest here. Man, there's some conflicts of interest with WilmerHale. We'll be writing about that. WilmerHale's done work for the NFL. WilmerHale's been the subject of a claim made by Lane Johnson about the lack of objectivity of WilmerHale counsel in other matters. So there's some meat on that bone. And then back to conflicts of interest and Lloyd Howell, one of the fascinating aspects of the latest episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out, something I didn't even know about, the selectively edited comments of Lloyd Howell from the Super Bowl press conference earlier this year, which just puts greater emphasis on his clear and obvious conflict of interest by virtue of his employment with the Carlyle Group and its connection to the NFL. And the editing of his comments would suggest that they're trying to keep people from connecting those dots and asking questions and possibly spurring action, like Lloyd Howell immediately being expected to give up his side gig with the Carlyle Group, and or this entire episode greasing the skids for Howell to be out of a job. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.